everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. Please, if you can get me 5 on 5, you can just comment in the together. Please, if you can get me 5 on 5, just hit the chat box and let me know. Okay, that's fine. So good evening
Yes, we
once
can hear
more.
you.
Okay, thank you. So good evening once more, and hope we all are having a nice evening, nice afternoon, nice morning, wherever we are. Today is yet another beautiful episode, another beautiful session that we are about to hold. It's going to be very exciting, trust me, because we have amazing speakers that are here to enlighten all of us on the topic of today. And as we all know, the topic of today is youth empowerment, education, and digital skill. That's quite a triggering topic. And so we have speakers that are going to enlighten us more about this, the different aspects of this, how it can actually help each and every one of us. And so without wasting much of our time, we are going to start with the first speaker. And before I start with the first speaker, I would just want to lay out some rules for each and every one of us. Um, we're going to have a 2 hour session, and we have 5 speakers. Hopefully, we pray that we should be able to get the 5 speakers. And so each speaker is entitled to 15 minutes of talk, 15-minute maximum of talk, okay? 15 minutes. And then if you have any question that you wish to ask to any of the speakers, you can just drop it in the chat box. And then when it's time for question and answers, we are going to see it. I'm going to read the question out so that the speaker can actually answer your question. So that's just what we have. And so without wasting much of our time, we are going to dive in straight to our first speaker. And our first speaker for the day is Madam Yetunde Macaulay. She is a very dynamic administrator, program and IT specialist, and a facilitator with over 10 years experience designing powerful programs for youth and professional communities. And she is also the CEO and founder of My Dream Connect, and she empowers people and businesses to achieve their biggest dreams through mentoring, training, and hands-on support. She is also a proud Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program awardee and an advocate of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. And with deep expertise in leadership, of course, digital marketing, digital media, web development, and emotional intelligence, she brings a unique blend of tech, creativity, and purpose to every space she enters. And so, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, please can you show some love in the chat box as we welcome our first speaker of the evening, who is no other than Madame Yetunde Macaulay. So, Madame Yetunde, the floor is yours, the mic is yours. Feel free to enlighten us more about your field.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I am joining in from Nigeria, and it's evening here. Yeah, it's past 8 p.m. here. I'm excited to be doing this with us this evening. So my name is Yetunde Macaulay. I don't know. Sorry, I really don't know why my name is not showing. I can see that it's showing unknown user. But I'm excited to be here. I am happy to be doing this with us. Yeah, we were supposed to do this like I think 2 weeks ago, right? And somehow we couldn't get to do it. Yeah, maybe network issues and all of that. All right, so I count it a great privilege to be doing this with everyone this evening. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I am grateful to Tadita Group Corporation for this conference. Like I've been introduced already, I run MVC Communications and My Dream Connect. MVC Communications is a for-profit business, and My Dream Connect is a not-for-profit platform, yeah, powered by MVC Communications. And what we basically do is youth empowerment, education, and digital skills. So I think talking, being on this call tonight is a good privilege to tell you a little bit about what we do and my own interests. Yeah, naturally, I love youth. I love everything that has to do with youth empowerment. And empowerment is actually what keeps development going. Yeah, if people are not empowered, we're definitely not going to grow. Am I permitted to check what's it called? Share my. I think I have a slide, yeah, that I designed for the last time. Though, can I go ahead and share my slide? Is it possible?
Yes, it's possible.
Okay, so let me see what I can get from it. I think I designed something a while ago. Let me see. So that okay, yeah. I hope, yeah, this I like to design slides. Don't mind me because I am empowered with digital skills, so I do a lot of things with it. So while I'm trying to share my slide, I would like you to know that Yetunde Macaulay is a trained public administrator. So have my background in public administration, and the truth is I was never a computer science student. I was never a science student, but I was a commercial student. But here I am. I am a program development. I'm a programmer as well. I build websites. I do graphics designing, and all of this I am able to do because I have been empowered. I'll be sharing a little bit about my journey, right? People see the way I use computer. They want me to teach them how to use computer. They want me to teach their children how to use the computer. But the truth is, um, many don't know that I don't have my background in computer education. I was never a computer engineer, but I just picked interest by virtue of one training that I got. I became interested and I decided to, continue developing, my skills in digital skills, how to use the computer efficiently, and then, content creation. All right, so that's why I think I am here tonight. I'm trying to share my slide. How do I get? I don't know. I'm not very, very good with things. I must acknowledge that. How do I share? I clicked on share and I'm seeing something else. Okay, I think I found it. All right, thank you. I found that. Can you guys see my screen? Can you?
Yes, we can see your
I
screen.
Okay, great. All right, so today we are talking about youth empowerment, education, and digital skills. So, like I already introduced myself, I'm a youth development strategist, I'm a tech advocate, I am the founder of My Dream Connect, an initiative connecting Africa youth to opportunities in tech and entrepreneurship. Yeah, I have more than 10 years anyway of experience in program development, digital training, and strategic partnership. And I currently lead the business development at MVC Communication. I'm so passionate about SDGs 3, 4, and 8. And 4 and 8 has to do with education and economic empowerment. My Dream Connect is a platform that I use to drive digital inclusion, education reform, and youth empowerment across Africa. We just rounded up the Tech Boot Camp, and I must confess, this is our third cohort. We started last year, and it's so interesting to see a lot of young people from all parts of Africa, because we had young people from Lagos, Nigeria, and other parts of Nigeria, and then other African countries like Kenya, Tanzania, and then Ghana, and yeah, some others joining the training. are all to learn how to be able to become more digitally competent. And we have some that are already working well in an organization but not in the tech space, who joined and they are interested in, learning how to use digital tools to become better persons. And the way the world is going now, but let's jump quickly into it. I'm going to tell us a little bit about what is youth development, what is education, what is digital skills, and how are all these three connected. If we look at youth empowerment, empowerment is basically, oh, okay, my slide, okay. So if you look at my slide, you will see I have youth empowerment, education, and digital skills. So youth empowerment means giving young people the tools, the opportunities, the confidence, the support, everything they need to shape their own future, and how it rubs off on the society that they belong to. Because if they are not empowered, of course, they are never ever going to be able to give back. You can't give what you don't have. And so I believe, if we're talking about community development, society development, change, national development, we cannot uh, push aside, right, the powerful effects or the strong effect that youth empowerment will have on any kind of development, even in organizations, right? If an organization is going to be transformed, right, the youth in that organization need to be empowered. And an empowered youth will always come back with results and solutions to problems within your organization, within your community. If you don't empower them, you are definitely not going to experience some kind of change that you look forward to. And what I have written here about education basically provides the knowledge and mindset to grow, think critically, and solve problems. One thing that will interest you is during our tech bootcamp, we always, yeah, as much as we want to empower people with skills in tech, right, we also think that being educated or knowledgeable in some soft skills, life skills, are very, very important. Because it's one thing to have the tools to work, another thing to know how to use the tool, and also it's another thing to know how to manage and maintain these tools. And this will be if we will achieve that goal if youth are empowered or educated in the areas of life skills. What career should I be doing? um, what tech tools should I, do I have interest here in using? Then you can then go ahead to find out information about the various tech opportunities that exist. And I've said here that digital skills equip youth with practical abilities like using technology, creating content, analyzing data, and building applications. And the truth is, these four, right, that I have mentioned: creating content, analyzing data, building apps, and yeah, using technology generally, they are essential for today's job and businesses and even national development. If you would develop anything, of course, you need data, right? And if people, let me put it generally, if people don't know how to generate data or how to interpret the data that they have, if they don't even know what they, some persons don't even know what data are. So if they don't know all of this, how do they now use it to solve problems? As youths, in fact, as human beings, let me not say youth, as human beings generally, as what's it called, we are created to solve problems. So nobody should say, oh, I'm not a problem solver. We are all created to solve problems. Just that some, because they do not understand their roles in the society or the organization or the company group, that the circle that they found themselves, they are not able to perform or to function well. And this is where empowerment comes in, and empowerment and education. When you're able to give young people opportunities and the confidence, support to understand why they are here and why they are where they are, and then be able to guide them on, oh, this is the path. I always believe that when an adult has gone through a path, that adult should be able to hold a youth or someone coming behind them by the hand and then show them the way, right? And so when you're able to teach them that, oh, these are the problems that we have, these are the characters that you need to be able to solve these problems, then they can go after the tools, right, to create solutions that will turn around the community, turn around the business that we do, make a change in our society. And that is how what I can, briefly say about youth empowerment, education, and digital skills. So I'm going to take us that. Yeah. So where are we coming from? Let's look at the digital revolution, the past, the present, and the future. We are now in the AI age. Yeah, I would like to call it that way. Remember, the invention of computer marked the beginning of digital age. Formerly, we used to use typewriter, and I could remember that I experienced that. Even I used typewriter, and I can tell you the difference. It's a whole lot. No one would tell me nowadays to use typewriter, and I won't even, I'll just laugh, and that's the truth. But it started that way, like, oh, we wanted to have, of course, we were using pen and paper, and then at some point some could afford to use the typewriter to type and send letters, and then the computer age came, and then we had printers and all. Of course, for all these tools that are coming, if you look at it, some persons thought about them. If those persons weren't empowered, they wouldn't have been able to create those solutions. If they weren't educated and they are just going around like morons, they won't be able to. And so for us in Africa, it's very important to continue to educate. Let's look at the internet era. The internet helps to connect billions of people, and that has done a whole lot to communication. The way we use our phones, the way we write, we were able to send texts back and forth without having to go abroad to go and have conversation with people, right? If you look at it, there's a lot of improvement that is happening. How we share information and how we even do business. Yeah, how we do business. I'm sure that on this platform tonight we have people who are using the various tools, the various digital tools that we have to do their business, and there are some whose job is to use the digital tools to sell other people's business, right? So it is one thing to use tech to perform basic tasks, and it is another thing to use the tech platforms to do your business. So those, like for example, the ones that are in the what do we call them? Yeah, the ones that are doing digital entrepreneurship. Those are the ones that you will see you doing e-commerce, selling their products via e-commerce sites, using the WhatsApp business and what have you. And the ones that are using the digital tools to achieve their goals, their daily goals in their organizations. We find them using tools like, let's see, yeah, Trello, Google Docs, and the likes. So let's talk about the mobile revolution as well. Smartphones and mobile devices have become universal, enabling constant communication and access to information. It's interesting to see how we can sit in the comfort of look at this that we're doing right now. Many years back, we'll have to converge in a hall, in a room, and they were having one-on-one face-to-face conversation, all right, to make this happen. But look at what it is now. Someone came up with it. Let's look at what happened. Let's you look at Facebook, for instance. Mark just wanted to solve a problem, right, in his classroom at the time. Or yeah, there was a project and they needed to, find a means to communicate within his educational institution at the time. But look at it now, it has now become something that is used widely. Everybody is using it because from time to time innovation has happened to that small tiny idea that was generated by somebody somewhere, who wanted to use it quickly for something within his community, within his circle, and then now it's something that we all are using to communicate with people. And so many good things have happened on all of this platform. And if we look at it, we would see that there is so much that digital tools, right, are really helping us with today. It also brings a lot of jobs. So in so many ways. And then now let's look at AI and beyond. Artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies are poised to reshape our world in unprecedented ways. Even the fact is, I was having a conversation with some ladies, like I think it was last week or 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks now. And the question is, oh yeah, AI is going to take our jobs. And I said to them, no, AI is never going to take your job, but people who know how to use AI to do the jobs that are available are the ones that you should be watching out for. So instead of you just running and saying AI is going to take our job and then you're not having understanding, that tells us that okay, in that area they're not well educated. So, but of course, if youth are informed, anyone that has proper information will know that AI is not going to take the job, because the AI tools will need people who are intelligent to actually make good use of them and help us to get results, right, out of these tools, these machines that have been put together. And that's what we need. So youth need to have this understanding and start to learn how to use all of these tools, because even if you are a front desk officer, you need to understand
Please,
digital
Madam
tools.
Yetunde, okay, I just, not to cut you, but just to tell you that you have just 10 minutes left.
It's okay. I'll try and quickly round it up right in 10 minutes. So if you are able to understand all of the tools that are available, you do not have to just sit. Sometimes some of us, we have our phones and all we do is we are typing, chatting, and you think that's all it is. No, you can start a business even from this phone. You can start small. You don't need to wait for government to provide you jobs before you start your career. You can jumpstart your career even with the small palm top device that you hold, and as a result of that you can think of innovative ideas that others can learn from. Now I think that would take me to, so I was talking about yeah, I talked about all generally, but let's quickly look at the role of education in the digital age. If we don't redesign education to meet the demands of today, we are preparing students for a world that no longer exists. And in Africa, it's something we need to look at. Our curriculum needs to be upgraded. We need to look at our curriculums and begin to see what can we change. How can we redesign it in such a way that it meets the current need of the world, so that African youths are not behind, still trying to, yeah, because really trying to catch up or meet up with the current demands. Many wants to leave Africa and go abroad. Why? It's because we do not know how much we have been given as humans and as young people to think and create tools that can make a change in our community. And our schools are we really need to work hard and upgrade so that the content that is being dished out to young people is moving them forward as fast as possible so that their growth can rub off on our continent, Africa. So the curriculum needs to be reformed. Non-formal educations like boot camps, we still need more. You can do it even in your community. Even if as a young person, if you learn a skill, where did I start from? I learned how to build websites, and ever since then I have loved to impact a lot of young people, and I have impacted a lot of people with that skill. One web design skill that I got, I began to search and search and search for more, and then knowing more, I was not able to give to many other youths so that we can be more in the system, right? Because what we need now is collaboration and partnership. No one person, not one, what's it called? No man is an island, and not one person can finish or complete the work of development. It has to be a collaboration. And so if you have a knowledge and you can share with the ones that are behind in your community, I'm going to advise that you get on the go and start to support others. Teachers also should be guided to become digital mentors, and also we shouldn't leave the ones that we see as less privileged behind. The girls, the persons with disabilities, people in the underserved community. As little as, let me quickly give you an example of this last one. I was invited to come and train on the importance of digital skills for business development at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. I was invited to go. We went to, various SME centers, and then we're teaching them. Yeah, there were communities we went to. And then on getting there, initially I thought, okay, these are sophisticated people and blah, blah. So I designed my slides like this. And then when I got there, I looked at the community, that is the people that I found there. I looked at it and I'm like, okay, my slide is not going to do them any good. They'll just be looking at me and be smiling, and then at the end of the day, they will say, thank God she's done. So what did I do? I just asked them, how many of you here have phones? Do you know that many of them set up shops? And I began to ask them, what are their business problems? How did I solve the problem? I only introduced them to WhatsApp business, and they began to sell on WhatsApp. Some of them would say, oh, my shop, I'll just close it down. People are not coming and blah, blah. And I told them, you have a shop, you have another tool, a tool that can help you open your shop anytime you like, and you will make more sales than being in a physical shop. And they began to use it, and we have received or reported more than enough, testimonies. So we can look at that. If youth can get on that job and start to educate others on how they can market their business using the various digital tools, we are going to be growing. That's just the truth. The African continent will grow, and we can come together as collaborators to think on better ways to make things happen. Here I have digital skills for sustainable futures. Digital skills, truly are not a luxury. They are survival tools for the modern economy. I want to emphasize on the last one. Digital skills equals life skills. And why do I say that? Life skills are very important skills, skills that we need to have on a daily basis. So no matter what career you are pursuing, it is important that you have access to quality digital skills that will help you move forward. And I am not saying, okay, everything must be on us. As much as we are young people and want to grow, we want to do great things, yes, you must first look out for yourself. But it is also now important. Let me now turn it to policy makers. Policies must not only be youth friendly, but they must be youth informed, youth led, and youth driven. So now this goes to governance of the private system, even the public system. So when you're making policies and you think, oh yeah, we want to make policies that will cause development, I think it's important that the youth get informed of the system, and allow the youth also to lead this system, because youths are able to explore better and deeper, to bring better solutions to the work that we do, to national development, and it is very, very, very important. So wherever you, I don't know what you're doing, where you're joining from, whatever it is that you do, or wherever it is that you're joining from, even if it's a community and you're thinking about your community and how your community can develop, please, it's important that you empower your youth to be able to bring more solutions to your community. And that change that we desire in Africa, it's a collective work. Not only one person cannot do it, and we cannot rely on one person or one source. We should have multiple sources that will help us grow as fast as we want. Artificial intelligence, I already talked about that, so I'm going to just jump into the conclusion. So together, education builds the foundation, digital skills provide the tools, and empowerment ensures that youth can use both to lead, to innovate, and succeed in a digital world. So it is very important for us to understand that as much as we want development, as much as we want growth, either personally or as a group, it is important that we understand the concept of education, we understand the need for digital tools and skills, and we should understand also the need for more people or more youth to be empowered to use whatever skills and tools that we find interesting to develop our community. I think I want to pause here and then pass the mic back to my host. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very, very much, Madam Yetunde. That was such a beautiful and a well-learned uh, presentation, and we got to learn a whole lot. If there's one thing that I really got to get is digital skills is equals to life skills. And if we don't redesign education in Africa, each and every one of us the power that the digital world has within us. And if you're not yet using it, trust me, you're lagging behind. And so, without wasting much of our time, we are going to go to our next speaker, who is Blessing Umoh. She is a highly sought after elocution expert and communication coach dedicated to empowering individuals to unlock their full verbal potentials. And as the lead facilitator of Universal Sound Academy, Madam Blessing specializes in helping clients across various professions and backgrounds to sharpen their verbal skills, ensuring clarity, confidence, and impact in every spoken word. With a deep understanding of phonetics, articulations, and the nuance of effective delivery, Blessing Umoh guides learners through transformative processes that enhance their vocal presence, refine their pronunciation, and elevate their overall communication powers. And of course, our expertise extends to developing strong public speaking abilities, crafting compelling narratives, and mastering the art of persuasive verbal interaction. Now, trust me, her biography is very long. Yes, it's filled with a whole lot of impact, but I'm just giving you a tip of the powerful lady that she is. And of course, it can be able to tell you what she's going to be talking to us about. And she will be talking to us about elocution for the modern professional. So let's give the floor to Madame Blessing. Madam Blessing, the floor is yours. And just to remind you that you have 15 minutes to talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope that I'm able to cover everything I want to say in 15 minutes, but sincerely, thank you very much. I don't know if you can see me. It's telling me here that my camera has been disabled. Okay, I think it's better now. Thank you. And I want to say a very big thank you to the organizers of this great event. Okay, so let's just delve right into it. Good evening, everyone. It's a genuine pleasure to be here with all of you tonight. And it's evening here in Nigeria. So that's why I'm saying good evening. Now, when I got a hold of this forum and was invited to speak, I decided that I wanted to talk about elocution for modern professionals. It might sound a bit cliche, but I would really like us to listen and follow up with whatever conversations we're having here. Okay. So when I picked the topic, my mind immediately thought about the people that will be here. So I thought about elocution for professionals, and my mind just thought about images of ambitious, driven individuals, okay, that are constantly striving for excellence in their respective fields. And I want to believe that those are the people who fills up this room tonight. Okay, so let's just go right into the topic for today. Now, the word elocution might for some people sound like a dusty textbook or a funny pitch. Elocution might also perhaps sound like theor- some theory. It doesn't sound like the particle thing, or it sounds like, is it a recitation? But I'm going to talk about what this means in detail in today's meeting. I was about to say in today's class, and then I remember that this is not a class. Now, the history of elocution lies in the profound delivery of how you're able to articulate your thoughts and ideas. All right. And you can agree with me that we are in a communication, fast paced, interconnected world where you just have to speak up. You just have to speak up, you know. And I always say this, that you might be an expert in your various fields. You might be the pro, the go-to person. But if you're not vocal about what you do at the workplace, see, that person who's vocal about what they do at the workplace will out-earn you. The person who's very outspoken will always out-earn the person who's timid. Now, I listened to someone and I just told the person that no one will pay you for an unspoken skill. Something that you refuse to talk about, no one will pay you for that. So think about it in your daily interactions, whether you're presenting a groundbreaking idea to your team, you're negotiating a crucial deal with a client, or you're simply networking or advertising your business on social media. What primary tool do you employ? Your voice. That's what you use, your voice. All right. That's what you communicate with. That's your tool. Now, the way you articulate your thoughts with clarity and convey your message, okay, with such confidence, all right, through your delivery, tells your listener that you know what you're saying. This, in essence, is what I call the modern elocution. Now, if you mumble and you stumble, I've heard people say that I'm very camera shy. I don't know the right words to say. My pronunciations are not so great. Hence, I can't be in the social place. I can't do content creation because, I'm not marketing my business well because I'm a shy person. I can face the camera, or I don't sound just as good. These are problems that needs to be tackled because the world is continually evolving. So what does effective elocution look like for modern professionals? Now, it's not about having an accent. It's not about overly dramatically pronouncing your words, but instead it has several elements. Now, one of which is clarity and articulation. This is the bedrock to every conversation. I like to tell people that your voice is not just enough, it's more than enough. You need to understand the power of your voice, how you harness it, refine it, and use it to get whatever it is you're saying, whatever it is you want. Now, your voice, I like to say, your voice is a currency. And what do I mean by saying your voice is a currency? Now, when we talk about currency, we're talking about something that is used as a medium of exchange, right? Good. That's what your voice is. That's the exact thing your voice is. You want to talk about your business, you use your voice. You want to be known at the workplace, you use your voice. You want to do a presentation, of course, it's your voice. You're exchanging something, you're exchanging ideas, you're having conversations, you're having interactions. So just knowing that clarity and articulation is just very important in modern times, especially for professionals. You would also agree with me that pacing your words gives rhythm. I've met people in this field and then they tell me, oh, I have problem with talking too fast. I'm too fast. I don't know. And I tell them, the only reason why you're talking too fast is because you've not understood the power of pauses as an individual, as a communicator, or as a person. Your voice carries power. And then if you're not able to properly pace your words, this is what it does. It results into mumbled speeches. And that doesn't project confidence because you're blabbing, blah, 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 blah. You're using vocal fillers. You're using excessive vocal fillers in what you're saying. It doesn't project you as a thought leader in your area of specialization. You're using today we're going to, even the best of us use vocal fillers, but the excessive use of vocal fillers will not project you as that confident person or as that thought leader that you want to be known for. And why do you do vocal fillers? You do vocal fillers because your brain is not as fast as processing the next thing your mouth wants to say. Your mouth is saying the words faster. Now, if you've understood the place of elocution, you would learn to use short pauses. This works like magic. Now, here is an example. My name is Blessing Umoh, and I am a speech analyst, an elocution coach, and I am here today. And I want to, you see how it puts people off. It doesn't sound like I know what I'm saying. But if you employ short pauses, you say something like, hello, my name is Blessing Umoh. Give your brain time to process. And today I'm going to talk about elocution for modern professionals. But before I start, I would like you all to take a moment and think about what really is elocution. Is it about fancy word? Or it sculpts the very essence of your vocal expression? So you see how using short pauses can help you sound better, can help you sound like a thought leader that you are. Now, this stems from understanding elocution. Are we following? If you're following, please say something in the chat box so I know that I am not talking to the screen alone.
Yes, we're following you 5 and 5.
All right. Another element is vocal variety. Vocal variety are instruments that your voice uses. They're very powerful. If you're able to utilize its full range, you would realize that you're giving rhythm to your spoken expression. You're able to vary your pitch, your tone. You're able to speak with clarity and emphasis. This is very crucial. You're not able to lose your audiences. Now, the English language is not a monotonous language, but most of us, when we are asking a question, it sounds like a question. But when it sounds like a statement. A question should sound like a question. And whoever is listening to you should understand that, oh, that's a question. When someone says to you, are you done talking? It means you didn't finish well. The appropriate pitch for you to end a conversation is different when you're continuing. This is vocal variety. Should we talk about pronunciations also? Your accuracy in your pronunciation demonstrates that you're paying detailed attention and you're also sure of what you're saying. Pay attention to pronunciations. This just tells the next person that you know what you're saying. And all of these things are key elements of elocution. Now, if your articulatory skills are faulty, you would mispronounce words. Take, for example, as basic as this example may sound like, if you have a problem with pronouncing the TH words, your words will come out flopped, especially words with a TH. If you have a problem pronouncing or articulating the SH word, you'll find out that as easy as the word fish may sound, you would say fist because your articulation has problems. And lastly, I'm going to talk about one element which is very vital, your body language. When we say elocution, speak properly, communication, I must say, is first of all a two-way street. Communication is a two-way street. First of all, for your listeners, your audiences, before for you. So if your audience finds it difficult to understand you, you've not communicated. And I digress back to the body language thing. Studies have shown that, you see, nonverbal cues, nonverbal communication is just as important, if not more important than verbal communication. Learn how to link your expression, your vocal expression with your posture, with how you gesticulate, with your eye contact. These things just tell the next person or whoever that you are confident in what you're saying. Now, people concerns nervousness. When you are avoiding maintaining eye contact, you are a thought leader, you're sat in a conference and you want to pitch your business to an investor and you're avoiding eye contact, people will notice. They will sense nervousness. They can tell that, oh, this person has not done his homework. And you're avoiding it, and then you're displaying a posture that tells that you're not confident. How do you hope to get them to invest in your business? So when you're able to learn that whatever it is you say, your body language is also just as important. You will start to do well with how you position your posture, how you position yourself, how you use gestures. All right. So why should modern professionals actively cultivate these elocutionary skills? The benefits are in manifold. Trust me, it will boost your confidence because you're speaking from a place of authority. You've worked on your yes, your vocal fillers. You've worked on it. You're speaking from a place of knowing. And this in turn will boost your confidence. There are people that sometimes they're not even as good as you are, but because they come with some surge of confidence, and then when they talk, they bamboozled everyone with just the words that they say. They learned elocution. They took elocution training seriously. They can stand, they can maintain eye contact, their pronunciation impeccable. They're saying things and you're just carried away. You're locked in with how they're communicated. These are benefits of elocution. We need it. If we want to project a stronger leadership presence, of course, you need to learn how to articulate your vision. You need to know how to speak in a way that you leave a lasting impression and you influence. I say that people are mostly not to forget you, or are likely not to forget you in a hurry if you leave a lasting impression or if you make them feel somewhat or somehow about you. This is you using communication as a tool to leave a lasting impression and to influence. And of course, if you want to climb the social ladder, you want to build greater networking success, You would learn the impact of speaking and speaking rightly. You would learn the impact of speaking and engaging conversations to build relationship and expanding your network. I also would I'd love to offer practical tips, but I'm sure that with the little that I've said, you can understand everything and the importance of elocution in today's fast-paced world. The person who is vocal about what they do at the workplace out earn that person who is quiet. Nobody will pay you for an unspoken skill. In conclusion, you see, in a wider landscape of modern professionals, the ability to communicate with clarity, confidence, and impact is not a luxury, is actually a necessity. And elocution, in its contemporary form, empowers you to articulate your value, to connect with your audience, to achieve your goals. All right. So it's about making your voice a powerful asset in the professional journey. So I encourage all of you listening to me tonight, work on your communication skills, work on your elocution skills, pay attention to your voice, okay, to cultivate its power, to refine your voice, to harness it, and to speak in such a way that you influence, leave a lasting impression, and resonate with your audiences. Thank you so much. Any question?
Thank you very, very much, Madam Blessing. That was such a like we got to learn a whole lot. I personally got to learn a whole lot with respect to the power and the art of public speaking. Very, very intriguing.
Thank
And
you.
if there's one thing I really got to learn, it's the power, the way you convey your message to people determines if you know what you're talking about. Yes, and
Mm,
the need for uh the need for us to be able to master clarity and articulation. That's where we should most of the time always lay emphasis on. It's not about the
mm,
accent, it's not about how we're using the voice, it's more about the clarity and articulation. And of course, I can't forget
mm,
this one that you said, our voice is our currency. I'm taking that
mm,
home. So
mm,
thank you so
mm.
much. Thank you. I
You're
believe,
welcome. You're welcome.
yeah. So if you have any question, please you just drop it down in the chat box, and when it's time for question and answer, we are definitely going to get back so that Madam Blessing can answer. Yeah, so we'll be begging on Madam Blessing and Madam Yetunde not to go. You just stay back because at the end we'll have question and answer session so you can answer to the worries of the audience. And so without wasting much of our time again, we are going to go to the next speaker, and this time it is a gentleman who is in the house. And so we will be welcoming Mr. Oluwatoba Akolade. He will be talking about leadership, wealth, and entrepreneurship. And so, Mr. Oluwatoba, he is a dynamic entrepreneur, a visionary leader, and an he is an impact-driven speaker who is passionate about transforming lives and businesses across the continent. As a seasoned book project consultant and a premium event host, Oluwatoba brings energy, clarity, and strategy to every stage he steps on. And I think this was just the same thing that Madam Blessing was talking about. So I think we're going to be seeing the practical version of that in the next presentation. So today, like I said, he will be speaking on leadership, wealth, and entrepreneurship. Let's hear what it is all about. Thank you, Mr. Oluwatoba, for coming to share your knowledge with us. The floor is yours. And just to remind that you have 15 minutes to share your knowledge with us. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening from this part of Africa. My name is Oluwatoba Akolade. Please, I would like to get the clarification if I'm audible enough, and if you can hear me, kindly drop in the comment box before I proceed. All right, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I can see the thumbs up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, Zachary. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Roland. All right, amazing. So I'll be delving straight into what we have tonight. First of all, I'd like to say a very big appreciation to Mr. Tamon for bringing this together. I mean, it takes a whole lot of wit, a whole lot of doggedness and tenacity to actually bring this to life. The mental energy engaged, I mean, is absolutely stunning. So I'm giving that to Mr. Tamon and the entire team of the Africa Digital Conference. Thank you so much for bringing this together. And thank you so much for accepting me as a speaker for this maiden edition. And to the amazing moderator, Lira, thank you so much. You're doing an amazing job. I appreciate you so, so much. To the speakers that have spoken before me, in person of Yetunde Macaulay and Blessing Umoh, your sessions have been so amazing, so fantastic. I mean, I learned quite a lot. Really, yeah, I really learned quite a lot of stuff from you. Thank you so much for those sessions. Yeah, in fact, I've been thinking, since you've said everything, there's really nothing left to share, but then we still contribute our quota to ensure that everything is balanced. All right. Yeah, the topic actually before me is on leadership, wealth, and entrepreneurship, right? However, I will come in this way since we are actually under one umbrella of youth empowerment, education, and digital skills. So this is it. So in 2019, yeah, I've been a Lagos boy all my life, living in Lagos. But in 2019, May, precisely the 5th of May, which happens to be my birthday, I relocated to the beautiful city of Ilorin in Kwara State. Ilorin is in north central in Nigeria, part of Africa. So I got here, and the moment I got here, I used my very first year to scan around, being a very vibrant entrepreneur back in Lagos, doing quite a lot of things, hosting events here and there in Lagos. I got to this place and I noticed that there is a gap that a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, that they need to fill. So I noticed that a lot of people that call themselves entrepreneurs, they lack the basic entrepreneurship skills. Many of them do not even know how to sell. Many of them, many of them do not know how to sell. Many of them do not know how to really engage their market, and many of them do not know their target audience. If you ask some people, they tell you, "Oh, you can sell to everyone in as much you are the one. Everyone is your audience," and that is not the way it is. Everyone is not your audience. All right, everyone is not your audience. You actually have a targeted audience for you have a targeted audience for your products and services. Please, am I still audible?
Yes, we can get you.
You so much, Lyra. So you have a target audience for your business, regardless of what it is you do. You definitely have a target audience. You are not saying to everyone. Not everyone is going to like your product or services, no matter how it is, because it is not oxygen. Even if it is oxygen, you cannot sell to everybody because not everybody needs extra oxygen, right? So that was what I noticed when I got here. At the moment I saw that, and rather than be part of the complainers, I decided to be a solution. And what did I do? Because of my level of network and connect in Lagos, I decided to bridge the gap between those people who lack the entrepreneurial skills and the people who really want to succeed, especially people that have been mentors over time. So I started a program January 2022. You can see I waited for 2 solid years to scan the environment to ensure that what I really saw as a problem was a problem. And as a leader, when you spot opportunity, you step in and show people how it's done. And it doesn't matter if you know how to do it, you just need to come up brave and courageous. One thing that a leader should have is that audacity. When you're audacious, definitely you can pull strings, and just accept and admit within yourself that you can get it done. The universe will obey whatever you have to say or do, and will bring in help from everywhere just to see it done. So I started up with an event in January 2022, and I hosted a few couple of people. Then I noticed that this thing is not something that should be a one-off thing. I started hosting the event from January down to December. That was 12th edition. I continued again 2023. I continued again 2024, and in 2025 January we had the 37th edition. That was something huge. 37th edition of hosting this event back to back in this city of Ilorin. And what have we been doing? We have been trying to bridge the education gap that a lot of entrepreneurs lack, especially as it relates to selling, as it relates to them engaging their audience, as it relates to them understanding what they are truly selling, right? You know, you can be selling a great product and you lack how to the brand positioning, you lack the brand storytelling, right? So what differentiates a selling product from one that is not selling mostly is not how good the product is. It is the story you create around it. It is how you are able to tell your story, how you're able to bring yourself, your brand in alignment with what you are offering. All right. I have someone that says, okay, she's making Zobo. What makes your Zobo different? Then she told us a story of how her mother was diagnosed of diabetes. And because the mother was diagnosed of diabetes, she needed to take something or foods or drinks that had zero sugar. So she came up with this idea of creating Zobo in a tea bag, just like Lipton and all those tea bags that we have out there. Then she created it, and that's what her mother was taking. Surprisingly, the doctor asked the mother, your sugar level has greatly reduced and it's so okay. What did you use? Then she said, oh, my daughter actually mixed this thing together and gave me as a Zobo drink. That's what I've been taking, right? So that opened her to opportunity, and I'm like, oh, this is actually a viable market here. So this Zobo is not just helping my mother to take drinks that is less in sugar, but also has a tendency to reduce the diabetes level. You understand? You see that now. So she spotted the gap, she spotted the problem, and she stepped in. So the moment she stepped in, that became a huge market for her. As I speak to you, as at last 2 weeks, she won the 17th grant using that problem. You can see that 17th grant. So for the reason of this was why I started this. So every month we host the program back to back, physical events, and you can tell you know what it means to host events, especially in a place where you are not too known initially. All right. So I kept pushing on and doing this. And the name of the organization is called the Entrepreneur's Pump with Akolade Oluwatoba. I told you something earlier. As a leader, you need to be audacious. Just admit within yourself that you will get it done. The moment you admit that you are going to get it done, everything you need your eyes will begin to open, that you have what you need to take the first step. You may not see the entire picture. When I started in January 2022, I never had the mind that I was going to do 30th edition. Well, I started with what was available at the time. I had friends who had space I could use. I had people that I could call. And I started. I did the first, the second. Was it challenging? Absolutely. The third, the fourth, the fifth, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth, the 10th, 11th, 12th. The numbers kept coming until we did the 37th in January. You can check on Instagram. So from that, I now spotted that, okay, if you keep doing this as an event, how then do we help these people? This is where wealth comes in. Now, even if you're doing something for free, there is a strategy for you to move from freemium to premium. That is, how can you turn that same thing you are giving people for free, you're offering them for free, you can turn it into a tool, a product, a service that they can actually pay for. All right. So what people need basically is just the what. The how is where the money is, right? So you can tell them, okay, you can buy this book, but many of them they lack the execution skills. Oh, you can actually buy this product. Yes, but how can it really help them? That is where you come in as an entrepreneur. So wealth building is about you being able to spot, or wealth creation is about you being able to spot opportunities. This is very critical. So if you look around you, you don't need to find a new problem. You don't need to find one thing that is outside of your vicinity, outside of your industry, outside of your scope. right at that industry that you are, there are 1,000,001 problem yet unsolved. All right. There's one particular guy that I read about. I'm forgotten the name at this time. He had a bad air. People used to insult him that, oh, you have a bad air. The air is used to shine. But rather than see it as a problem, he saw it as an opportunity. What did he do? He goes about meeting brands and companies, organizations, telling them that I can actually help you market your brand for free. Sorry, for a fee. So they will inscribe their logo on his bad head. So he will be walking about. So he told them that, yeah, there are billboards that you can use. There are digital billboards. But how about a walking billboard? And that was his own brand storytelling point. You see that? So he spotted a problem and he leveraged on it. Not just that, he looked at what he has that to other people, it's seen as a problem, it's seen as a liability, but to him, it's something that he can leverage on. And that's one thing also need to also note is leverage. Now, we talk about leveraging. You need to look around you. Number one, what talents do you have that you can actually leverage on and to get exactly the results you want for yourself? What skill can you leverage on? Then people, this is very key. You see, if you downplay the importance of men in your life, I kid you not, you are going nowhere. Because even before today, we are all hearing about Jesus. Tomorrow we keep hearing about him. How do you think that idea was able to permeate the whole world? It's true, men. Because once you have an idea, be it a business idea, be it a product or service, you cannot downplay the importance of men. Men are the ones to actually help you to propagate these things. So look around you. That idea in your mind, you think you don't have people. You think you want to get until you have billions before actually get something done. No, that's false. What you just need is the right set of people. Don't look down on people around you. When I started the entrepreneurial spam, the person doing my designs was not that good, but I ensured that I continued with him. I He was using my to train. Today, it does my designs for free and he's doing excellently well. When he gets anywhere, he knows I give him the platform to get that done. You see that? So you need to also look at that. Leverage the people around you. You see, most what wealthy people do is not like when they have an idea, they don't use their money. They use other people's money. They use other people's skills. They use other people's time. So three things you need to also pick: skills, people, and time. These three things, ask yourself, how have you been able to use them judiciously? I mean, we all have the same 24 hours, but some people are getting results that you are not getting. It means there's a way they are using their time. There's a way they're using the people around them or the people they know. There's a way they're using their skills and talent. How are you using yours? And we just take with levity what the scripture says, that seeth a man diligent in his work, right? He will stand before kings and not mere men. But I try to also think about it. Why can't I be the king that people will stand before? It's another level of thought. But for this scope of this lesson, I want you to look at it deeply. How are you leveraging your skills? How are you leveraging the people around you? How are you leveraging your time? These three things, they are very, very key. The unit of life is time, and time can never be recovered. It is irrecoverable, right? Once you spend it now, you cannot get it again. So you need to ask yourself, what problem can I solve? How can I be the one? See, talking about problems too, you actually don't need to start finding a big problem or a new one anywhere. No. Take for instance, in 2015, 2016, I started my company, the Book Soldiers International. What happened? Why did I start a company? I was in a dilemma on how to produce my book. I didn't know how to do that. I had a lot of troubles doing that. I had encountered a lot of challenge when it comes to writing that book. So because of that, imagine that I wrote a book. At the time, I didn't know how to operate computer system. I didn't even know the difference between PDF. I didn't know the difference between MS Word and the likes. But what did I do? I went ahead to meet a computer person and said, okay, I want to make use of a computer system. Not like I cannot use it like fully, but I was only the basic level when it comes to computer literacy. You see that? So I was typing my book with him as at that time. So when I typed my book with him, I got there one very day. It was a cyber cafe. For those of you that you are aware, you know cyber cafe very well. Then that you buy time. So I went there one day and I told him, okay, bring my book. I want to continue writing. Then he told me that my book had mistakenly deleted. This happened 3 times. Imagine your sweat, your effort, your energy, your resources, right? I spent time on that book. Mind you, I was working as a teacher at the time in secondary school, teaching 9 subjects, and I was earning a huge sum of 6,000 naira at the time. Yeah, 6,000 teaching 9 subjects. From the 6,000 naira, I give 2,000 naira every month to this guy so I could type at his place. And now he's telling me cock and bull story that my book has been deleted off the screen, off the system. That was heartbreaking. But I never relented, right? I leveraged the people around me that knew how to do it better. And when I eventually published the book, I saw and I thought within myself that if I can be feeling this way, if I can be passing through this kind of challenge for a book, definitely there are thousands and millions of people out there that they also want to publish book, but they find it hard. And that launched me into founding my company, the Book Surgeons International. And today we have helped over 900 people directly with their books. Over 900 people. Look at that. So sometimes your purpose, the things to invest in, the idea will be bettered out of your pain. So you'll be the one to pass through the pain for other people to now say, oh, so this thing can actually go this way. So when you are passing through a period of pain, a season of pain, you don't have to fight it. Just ask yourself, what is the lesson for me at this period? Understanding the lesson for yourself at that period will help you to know that all pain is a gift. Yeah, pain is a gift. Knows that pain is a gift. So yours is just your job is to juice out the juice that is in that pain. You see that? So you can see I've been able to actually merge leadership alongside wealth alongside entrepreneurship. So leadership here is telling you that you need to be audacious, you need to be dogged, you need to be tenacious. Go after it. In as much it dropped in your spirit, it means someone. Now, there's something about idea I need to let you know. Once you receive the idea and you are taking that acceptance and acknowledgement that you want to leverage this idea, what happens is that there will be connection in the universe to help you at each stage. But until you start, you will not get to meet these people. So you see that when you get to a certain point in the execution of the idea, you meet certain people that will connect you. Oh, why not do it this way? These people will keep helping you until you keep growing. But you have to start first. So that's the place of leadership. The place of wealth creation is for you to look at the problems around you and what you can truly leverage, right? So the problems around you are actually pointers to something. So I am, if you have watched this movie, Spider-Man, then there's a particular quote there that I love. He said, every experience shapes you into something you eventually become. I take that. Every experience shapes you into something you eventually become, and that is life. So the experience you are passing through, other people's experience, everything can be a pointer to the next problem you should be solving. Right? That is the aspect of growth. Then the aspect of entrepreneurship is just spotting a problem and solving it. Like I said, you don't need new problems. You just need to be innovative. It's a word of AI here, right? Just like Yetunde said, you don't need to actually, the truth is, you are going to be chased out by people who understand the usage of AI, not necessarily AI itself. AI cannot come and take away your job, but the people that actually know how to use the AI. And just like Blessing Umoh said, you need to communicate clearly. You need to communicate. Let there be clarity in your communication, in your brand positioning, your brand storytelling. And if you can merge all these things together and also leveraging your people, the people around you, your time and your skills, definitely you are going to achieve something phenomenal. My name remains Oluwatoba Akolade, and I am the president of the Entrepreneurs Pump Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Oluwatoba. That was really, really a whole lot. And I guessed, and I must know that every member here as well has learned a whole lot. And if there are some key things that you really was the first, every leader should be audacious. Yes, because once you're audacious, once you admit that you can get something done, then definitely the universe will align with you to ensure that that thing is done. And that just to tell us the power of positive thinking. And of course, you did mention about three things that are of key importance to us, which is time, skills, and people. The question is, how do we leverage these things? How do we leverage these things? It determines our success. So thank you so much. That was really inspiring. That was really, we got to learn a whole lot. And please, just to let the speakers, please feel free to share your social media handles so that everyone here can connect with you. I believe there are many people that would like to know more about what you guys were saying. And so this is a chance for us to connect with each other. Yes. And so, like Ella said, you can keep your questions coming. Write them in the chat box. When it's time for the question and answer session, we'll definitely get to them. And so we are going to our next speaker of the day. Our next speaker of the day is Mr. Yusuf Liadi Abodium. He is a visionary civic tech leader, an AI advocate, and the dynamic force behind iLead Africa and the AI Innovation Lab. Now, with a passion of empowering youth and building inclusive digital ecosystems, Yusuf has directly trained over 20,000 young people across Africa, equipping them with the skills to thrive in today's tech driven world. He is a recipient of the SDGs Youth Spotlight Award, a Young Global Changer Recouping Award winner, and a mentor with the U.S. Department of State Community Engagement Exchange Program. And from speaking at the AU ECOSOC Citizens Forum to working with the UN Foundation, Yusuf is at the forefront of Africa's digital evolution. And so today, he will be speaking about digital innovation for sustainable development. So without wasting much of our time, please can we welcome Mr. Yusuf Liadi Abodium. Mr. Yusuf, the floor is yours.
Um, Please confirm if you can hear me, please.
Yes, we can get you 5 on 5.
All right, perfect. Let me start with this. I supposed to join my session on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, and unfortunately, my network is having issue, and finally, I'm able to join today, and I've been here. I think immediately when Yetunde started his presentation. And I must say, most time when you are having a difficulty or you supposed to get something done, but you are unable to have it, in your mind, there's a lot going on, but at the end of the day, when you take when you take things easy and you are able to exercise some patience, you later discover that it's us for the best. And I'm giving a kudos to the all the speaker that's I've presented today. It's so amazing to hear all those fantastic ideas, examples that you gave, and you know, a great work that you all have been doing. And I think you today emphasize more on the importance of digital skills, why we need to build a digital technology solution, and why we need to leverage on digital technology, especially this period that we are now and how the world is moving to. So, and I will build on that, but a little bit digress to how we can address the problem we are facing, not only consider ourselves, but minding other people, putting in place the planet and the world in totality. So what I mean is when you are building your digital skill, your digital innovation, your digital solution, your digital product, anything that you are doing, how are you putting in place or you are considering other people in that process? how you putting in charge the people that are going to use the product, the how does that product affect your community, or how does that product or solution contribute to the development of your nation and the world entirely. So that's what we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about digital innovation for sustainable development. And in code, Sustainable Development Goal (SDG) is an initiative of United Nations. United Nations is the world is a global platform of the. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, though your line breaks for a moment, but we can get you now.
Okay, so United Nations is the global platform that comprises the member states of each country. And, in 2015, they come up with an idea of we need to set the goal. We need to know where the world is moving to, and we need to have a roadmap to accelerate sustainable development. So they come up with Sustainable Development Goal, which succeeded the MDG, Millennium Development Goal. So basically, what the Sustainable Development means is that you are meeting the need of the current situation without compromising the future generation. It's addressing the issue of taking in consideration the consequence or the outcome of any activities you want to embark on. When you are building your system, when you are building your solution, what effect is that going to make in climate uh, crisis? What effect is that going to create in reducing the youth unemployment? Colade speak a lot about how he's able to identify the solution and building a sustainable initiative that address that, using a technological base. The world is so simple now. You don't need to live where you are. At comfort of your room, you can build something. We are in different part of the world, and we are here because someone think of, oh, we can leverage on this Microsoft team and organize a conference that connects people from different parts of the Africa, and we have a forward-thinking discussion about how we can leverage digital technology and transform Africa through digital innovation. So basically, digital innovation is driving sustainable development or sustainability through smart agriculture for food insecurity. Most of the African country, that's the major problem we are facing now. In part of the country, they have issue about food security. But in some part of Africa too, they are a place that they have a surplus in when it comes to the food. So how can you use your tech-based ideas to facilitate that uh, moving from one place that they have in essence to the place that they have the scarcity of food. So that's one of the ideas. Another one is the revolution of fintech. You all agree with me. The fintech, they are doing amazing in that sector. I know a couple of them, and recently we have people that think beyond. Oh, the transactions should go beyond ourselves. We need to have an international transaction. If you are in Kenya, you can send money to Nigeria. If you are in UK, you can send money to Kenya. So it's the power of digital innovation, and people are behind this. The next one is the e-government, which my organization focus on, you know, how the government system can go beyond the normal traditional way, how we can have a system that is going to be effective and make public service delivery smooth and efficient for the people and open to the people. People can have more opinion, they can contribute, they can be part of the process. Using the digital tech to improve government system and, you know, hold your leader accountable, and be more transparent. And finally, the climate tech, the climate innovation, the climate change has been one of the top priority challenge that the world is facing, and the UN system, they are very much interested in anyone building something sustainable when it's come to addressing climate crisis. So if you have a brilliant idea or you think on what you can do to address the the climate issue that we are facing, in terms of the emotion, empowering people on how they can be climate adaptation and climate mitigation, is going to go a long way. Next slide. Hello, can you hear me? Next slide. Okay, let's quickly talk about the issue we are facing in Africa, because according to the ITU, Inter-Communication Union of United States, we still have 70% of Africa population that they don't have access to the internet. They don't have access to the internet, and we cannot be talking about digital innovation without having digital inclusion. So when there's no access to the internet, there's no access to the smartphone, there's no access to the power that can, boost the using of digital technology, it's going to be difficult to achieve any digital innovation or digital solution you are bringing on, because anything you are building is not basically for you as a person or your organization. It's for the people that's actually affected by that particular issue that you want to solve. So, talking about the climate change, in some developed city, you may not have the effect of climate crisis in your city, but when you get to the underserved community, when you know they don't have access to good road, there's no good water, and they are facing a lot of challenges. So, and you are building something leveraging on digital technology, and they don't have access to it. So it will serve as if you don't have anything going on. So the challenges we are facing in Africa when it's come to digital innovation, the first is digital inclusion that I mentioned in the South community. There's no internet, there's no power, there's no proper training, and the weak innovation infrastructure. Uh, you know, Now in some city, we are talking about 5G. That is, we are even clamoring for more to have like 6 or 7. But there are some underserved community. They don't even know what, or they are still at the stage of 1G or 2G. So, and the final one, the next one is policy gap and inadequate funding. That's it's from the side of the government. There's no policy to enact the right thing to do, especially when it's come to issue of cybersecurity and cyberbullying, online harassment. All those, there's a lot of policy gap, and cybersecurity risk and limitation to data literacy. You know, Most of the time when you get to maybe a training like this and you want to put your data, you want to insert your data, you get to think twice before you insert your data, because you don't know how safe it is. Nowadays, if you post something online, believe me, if they need it in the next 20 years, they will bring it out for you, even if you delete that information. So your data is not really safe online. And those among the issue that we are facing in Africa, and how can we address it as a young change maker, passionate individual, clamoring or advocating for digital transformation. Next slide. So to address these challenges that we are facing in Africa, because there's a say that it is time for us to build Africa for Africa. It is time for us that we think to develop a local solution to address the local challenge that we are facing. You know, what we have seen so far is just a couple of people in part of the world, they will just come up with something and give it to Africa, and we don't have any choice. We abide with it. But believe me, we have a brilliant, best of the best expertise in Africa that they are even the one those people are using to develop some of their ideas. So it is time for us to think, and I know that's one of the objectives of this conference, how we can work together, how we can put the resources together, how we can work, put the head together and come up with something sustainable, innovative to address the problem that we are facing. I've talked about the digital exclusion, and to address that is to be an advocate for digital skill. If you have any digital skill, you can begin to think how you can channel that to the next generation, how you can pass that knowledge to the next generation, how you can train them on digital literacy, give them the basic training and move to the advanced training, like developing a website, learning about cyber security, learning about artificial intelligence, learning about Internet of the Things. All those things is what we can do. And in terms of the weak innovation and infrastructure, as an advocate, we can begin to hold leader accountable, for them to order, let them have all this infrastructure in place. There's some community for Nigeria, for instance, there's some community apart from the developed city, you will hardly find digital center or digital hub in local community, and every community deserves to have a digital center. So the next solution we can build is to lend our voice aid in terms of policy to assist government in building a sustainable policy that's going to guide the use of digital platform and allocate more funding in building digital skills, encouraging the local innovator, young people that are building something sustainable and using digital technology. And it's not too much for the government to put more resources in that and encourage them to do more. And finally, we can also come together to begin to advocate for a safer life online. A safer life online, when you see something, they say something. When you see information, before you click on that link, make sure you know where that link is coming from, know the source. Before you share or post something online, verifying the information, know where that information is coming from. It can begin with you. The change can begin with you. You can begin to talk about fact checking the information. You can build a sustainable innovation in that, on how someone can, when you see something online, you can go to this platform to verify if that information is genuine, and you know the source before you make a comment or do something on it online. So I've talked about the grassroots innovation lab, which we need to put more effort in. Mobile first solution for public services. I mentioned about lack of training, lack of infrastructure in underserved community, and you cannot be talking about the artificial intelligence for someone that don't even know how to operate the phone. So we need to build the tech base that's going to address the local issue, using the mobile USSD. It's another innovative way to address those local challenge that they are facing. And, finally on this is continental digital cooperation strategies. We have a lot of policy that address digital technology in Nigeria. Recently, they launched AI strategies plan, and I know in Kenya, in Ghana, in Zimbabwe, Uganda, they are doing a lot too. But can we begin to talk about how we can have a continental cooperation, how we can synergize all these policy and strategies together, so that it can be able to work for all, and we can use that to address the issue of free trade that's ongoing and visa free in Africa. So next slide, because of our time, I think the next one is to talk briefly about what we do at iLead Africa. It's a civic tech leading organization leveraging on digital technology to empower young people and marginalized community to begin to hold their leader accountable, be more active, and contribute largely to policy development and processes. And we have been leveraging on digital technology. We have done a couple of building different websites on citizen participation. Um, Currently, we are working on a project called Parliamentary Tracker, which is going to allow citizens to monitor the activities of their representative in the National Assembly and the State Assembly. So a couple of um, initiatives that leverage on digital technology are being built by iLead Africa, and beyond that, we are good in training young people on how they can also, you know, build something sustainable using digital tech, digital idea to address issue of accountability, transparency, and most importantly, contribute to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. Okay, I don't see my slide again, but with this, I think I can conclude by saying uh, we don't have much time. The world is moving faster than we can imagine. In 2022, 2023, the priority topic in digital space is blockchain. And now we are talking about the artificial intelligence. And we don't even know what is coming up again, which I believe, they are still working on something that's going to be huge for the world to see. So when they are they're building it, can we start as an Africa that we are, encouraging more young people to be digital enabled, encouraging more young people to have at least two digital skills, encouraging more Africa to be able to leverage on digital technology to easy their business transaction, and not only that, to contribute to the society that we are all working toward in creating and making it better. Because no matter the solution, no matter the innovative idea you are bringing on board, if it's not addressing the issue that the world is facing, if it's not making any impact, it's not going to be scaled and it's not going to be accepted globally. So we need to look critically how we can develop a local digital technological based innovation that's going to address the local issue we are facing in Africa. The chat GPT we are talking about now cannot speak my language, cannot speak any African language, and we can begin to think about that. How can we have a chat GPT of Africa that if I put my language over there, you know, I'm going to get a response. If I put Hausa there, I'm going to get my, and if I go the other Africa language, you know, this is what we need to begin to work on. And I need to encourage and commend the efforts of the organizer of this event. You are doing incredibly work, and I will encourage you to keep it up. And to all the speakers that volunteered to be part of this, we are making world to be a better place. And to the participant, learning alone is not enough, but turning learning to the something sustainable and impactful, it's what is going to make the world a better place. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Yusuf. That was that's one very beautiful presentation on the power of digital innovation. And as like you rightly said, it is time for us Africans to build for African. It is time for us to start thinking out of the box, to start seeing how we can utilize our skills, our time, our people in order to build something sustainable for us, for Africa as a whole, and not just sitting back and watching others do the thing while we consume it. Thank you very, very much. And then with that, we have come to the end of we've come to the end of this that was the last speaker we had. Yes, unfortunately, the other two speakers won't be able to speak today. Hopefully, another time. And so it has been a very beautiful talk all this while, this past 1 hour. I believe many of us, we have learned a whole lot, and we have questions that we would like to ask the different speakers. So please, I am going to go to the chat box and see if there are any questions. Okay, Mr. Julius is asking, could someone please resend the links to the LinkedIn profiles? Okay, if you don't have the access now, don't worry. We are going to share the links again in the main forum, in the African Digital Conference Forum, so that it's no problem. Okay, let me just go up and see if I have any question. Okay, so far it seems this is a time for you. This is a time for you to be enlightened. This is a time for you to learn. This is a time for you to And so while waiting for the audience to send their own questions, I do have my own questions for the various speakers. I hope that the various speakers are still available, so I would just be asking them. Is there a record so we can rewatch later? Yes, there is a record, and it will be shared sometime later, probably tomorrow. Yes, and so I don't know. I hope Madam Blessing is still there. Yes, she's still there. So, Madam Blessing, this question goes to you. So, you were talking about the power of elocution, the power of public speaking. And so, I have these two questions for you. How can professionals use their voice and tone more effectively during virtual meetings or online interviews? It's one of those things that people tend to have difficulties to communicate, especially when not face to face. So, what do you think? Like, how can we be able to best utilize our voice in order for these virtual meetings not to make them boring, to make it still lively, to
Hello, can you hear me? I think you've gone muted.
will be
I think you've gone muted. I didn't quite catch it. Could you please repeat that?
okay. So can you get me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I'm gonna call.
Okay. So my question was, how can professionals, how can people use their voice and tone more effectively during virtual meetings like this meeting, like this session that we're having, for example? What can you tell the audience if tomorrow they would like to organize their own session? What are those tips that they can actually use or they can actually put in place in order to effectively communicate their message through through these virtual meetings or through the online space, like not physical, not meeting face to face? So what are those tips that you can actually put in place? What are those tips that you will give to us to help us effectuate our communication to other people virtually?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. First thing first, I'd like to say that um, the clarity of your message hinges on how well you're able to deliver. So I'd like to say that individuals should work on their clarity, ensure that their message is clear and understandable. How do you do this? You do this by understanding the concept of what you're talking about. You do this by maintaining the right pacing. So now, if you are a fast talker, because it's virtually, you would know that sometimes network could transmit signals and then take it away sometimes if you don't have a strong networking system. So yes, maintain the right pace, work on pacing. People do not understand the power of pacing. So when they talk too fast that their audiences are unable to grasp what they're saying. So while you're maintaining clarity, working on your message delivery, ensure that you're using the appropriate pacing when you're delivering your virtual meetings. So, okay, that's one, two, three. And lastly, master pauses and emphasis. So now, because people cannot see you, they can actually hear, people can hear excitement and sadness just from the tone of your voice. You get it? So even, yes, even if we're having a virtual meeting and you're talking to the next person, if you're excited, or I don't know, but some of us, we've had opportunities where we come on a live session or an interview, and then just the way we sound, the next person says, "Are you okay? You're not sounding too good." See, that's the power of tone. That's the power of pauses and emphasis. So when you're able to properly tone or use the right tone, it will give emphasis to what you're saying. Yes. So even if people don't see you, it's important that you're pacing your tone is and your clarity is good to ensure that the message of what you're saying is delivered properly to whoever is listening. You can evoke
Okay.
excitement and sadness just by the tone you use.
Okay.
So fine.
Thank you very much for that.
You're
And then
welcome.
my next question will go to Madam Yetunde. Madam Yetunde, I hope you're okay. She's still there. So, Madam Yetunde, what practical first steps will you recommend to a young person in Africa who wants to start a career in the tech industry but has no background in it? Like, what are the first things? What are those steps that the person can actually take to feel comfortable, to be able to have that confidence that they can actually succeed through the tech industry world?
I was muted. Can you hear me now? I was muted. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can get you now.
Okay, so this is it. If you're starting out and you do not have a background in tech, I think the first thing you need to do is uh, get the knowledge. Now, before you get the knowledge, right, you need to first know. In fact, the knowledge, yeah, know what do I want or where do I want to play. Like I wrote an article one time, and the article talks about pixels and programs. People hear tech, 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 and they want to be tech babes, tech bros, but you do not have understanding. So the first thing you want to have is understanding of the tech space. Now, when you have understanding, pick the one that you feel interests you, and then find out what the investment will be. Not necessarily money, the time it takes. I have people who, today they want to learn, oh, I want to learn programming, I want to learn coding, and then when they start, in less than 2 weeks or 3, they are tired because they do not have the capacity for it. So you must know, what do I want? Not everybody, must be programmers. You can be a digital media marketer. You can be someone who understands how to use the computer, and then you're teaching others how to use the computer. So the first thing is, know what the investment is in terms of how much you need to commit to it, and then your capacity. Can you write codes? If you can't, just quickly go to the next one. And then when you have identified the one that works perfectly for you, the next thing you want to do is look for low cost courses or free boot camps that you can take just to expand your knowledge in that area. And then as you're learning, um, it's okay to go ahead and say, oh, as I'm learning, you want to find a project, yeah, that you're working on or you are assisting somebody with. So let's say, for instance, you're learning. So like at My Dream Connect, we have boot camps that we run for youths, and we teach the basics, and then we have the intermediate participants as well. So for the basic learners, we teach, yeah, so we have four main courses that we take. We have data analysis, digital media marketing, we have programming and web development, and product designing. Now, let's say, for instance, you are learning digital media marketing. As you're learning, you know, and you have someone who is having a challenge with their social media platforms or managing their social media platform effectively, you can actually volunteer to start testing, how good you are. And you can take your questions, questions from all the challenges you're going to encounter working with this person, take it to the classroom. That way they help you answer it. And as you're answering, as you're getting answers, make sure you're absorbing a lot. Don't just get answers and say, oh, I'm good, and then you forget the next time you have to do it. So you have to go through that learning curve, but start small. Start from where you think you have capacity. Even though you are interested in programming and you think, I don't think right now I have the capacity to, be a programmer, then start small. And then as you grow, you will discover that, okay, maybe along the journey, yeah, digital media, okay, maybe I want to take my digital media, skill to the next level. Instead of going for programming, maybe I should even move to product designing instead of programming. So you will find out, but start small. Start very, very small, and then you start to grow it and invest in low cost training or the free ones online. And yeah, Google is your friend, ChatGPT is your friend. You can also find out information from all of these platforms and continue to build yourself, on, the new found your newfound career. Yeah, let me put it that way. But I can bet it with you, there is a space for everybody in the tech, yeah, space. There is something for everybody to do in the tech space. You can even start by creating content. Yeah, you can start as a content creator, and all you're doing is putting together short content, articles. You can start also to write scripts for people with the help of, AI. Yeah, the chat GPTs and all of that are there. When you start, but of course you must be serious. You have to be very serious, and they'll also, I'll tell you that, yeah, you must be able to sell your idea as well, and that is what will help you grow. Like Madam Blessing has already taught us, we must be able to articulate whatever it is that, we're selling to people, where what we have rather, so that we can sell professionally and, sell excellently to attract. Because if you don't have anybody buying or, supporting you, you feel tired, and you may just think, oh, that field is not for me. I think I like to stop there.
Okay, thank you, Madam Yetunde. That is really true. To
Hello.
start, now you have the answer. First, you need to understand your tech space. What is your skill? Where are you comfortable in? And don't just start dreaming big. Start where you're comfortable. Start small. You'll definitely get to that dream of yours. But it all starts with a step. Okay, thank you. And then my next question, quickly, we'll go to Mr. Yusuf. Mr. Yusuf, I hope he's still in the house. Yes, he's still in the house. So, Mr. Yusuf, I would like to know, what advice will you give to young innovators or startups who wants to create tech solutions that are not just profitable, but also socially and environmentally responsible? What advice can you give to them?
All right, thank you so much. Uh, the first advice I will give to you is to first ensure that what you are building is something that you are passionate about. If you are not building it because you attend, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can get you.
So you are not building it because you attend this lecture and we said, oh, we need to be something for Africa. But you are building it because it's something that you are passionate about and you are cared to solve that problem. Because even if you don't get any recognition, if you don't get any support, if you don't get a top up that, oh, you are doing great, that can be a very strong encouragement for you because you are doing what you're passionate about. And the second one is you need to keep learning. You need to keep developing yourself, keep building yourself, learn a lot. The world is really competitive, not that we are fighting or we are dragging it, but it's a competitive world. That's how it's designed. So what you think you are doing or you want to do, you'll be surprised that in part of the world there are people doing it already. So even when you come up with your own, um, you will be surprised to see that, oh, they have it already. But there's one thing that's important. We are talking about the innovation. Innovation does not stand for, oh, I want to do the new thing, but it stands for what they have been doing that you want to do in a better form that's going to be more easy and accessible than the way it is, changing that position. So you need to keep learning so that you can be ahead of any innovative or any idea you are coming up with. And lastly, talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Network with people. Let people know what you are doing. Encouraging the teamwork. Oh, I want to build this
Okay,
thing.
thank
I
you
know
very much.
parties. You can join me and we
Okay.
can together. That can assist you in achieving that goal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Yusuf. Yes, thank you. As you said, you should first be passionate about it, keep learning, and of course, the power of networking, very important. And then the last but not the least question will go to Mr. Oluwatoba. So, Mr. Oluwatoba, I would like you to share, if you can share us an experience of what key leadership habit or mindset that you had which contributed most to your success as an entrepreneur. So if I was someone that I want to start up, I've seen how successful you are and I wish to follow in your footstep, of course, with my own idea. What is that tip that you actually use which worked so well for you that you can actually give to me?
All right. First of all, I'll say thank you to all the speakers so far and the beautiful responses given to all the answers, all the questions. Okay, so if you were to start up something that I'm doing, what are the key things, the mindsets, the shifts that you need to imbibe as a leader? The very first thing is the audacity to start. All right, because idea will continue to remain an idea, information will continue to remain information. All these things will remain in their constant state unless being acted upon, right? So this means you have to have that audacity to begin in the first place. And audacity does not mean you are not you are ignorant of the challenges ahead. No, it means regardless of what it is that is on my way or that will come my way, I will keep forging ahead. All right. So if you have this mindset of that audacity, you know that there is no challenge that comes in that you wouldn't conquer. And if you actually keenly look at it, that in our lives, since the moment we were born, we will observe that we've passed through certain challenges that we felt we won't be able to survive or overcome. But one way, anyhow, 5 years after, you look back and you're like, no, did I just sail through that particular phase of my life? You never imagined you could sail through. But look at you, you've overcome. So when you have that mindset of, oh, there is nothing that I can't conquer, I will definitely forge ahead to do this. That is number one. Then number two is your people skill. People skill. This is really, really important. Even if you are the most brilliant person on earth, even if your idea is the next best thing after sliced bread, you still need men. You need people. You can't do them on your own at all. You can't do them on your own. So a leader is not someone who looks at somebody and says, "Oh, you are good for nothing." Even if that person is not useful for you at that moment, that person has a contributing factor that you as a leader, you are yet to probably yet to unravel. Okay, so have that people skill. It is very, very key, right? People skill is key. Then the let me share another one. This is being visible. Being visible. You see, Africans have one issue. Why we are so good at what we do, we want to keep quiet with it and feel, oh, since I'm good, people are going to look for me. They're going to get me. You are joking. This is why a lot of quacks, a lot of people that are not knowledgeable up to your standard, they are getting the gigs, they are getting the grants, they are getting the rewards, they are getting the accolades. It is not because they know how to do better than you. They just show up. They show up. They become visible. If you are, I used to tell entrepreneurs that whatever makes you not to show up or become visible as an entrepreneur, as a leader at all, it means you don't believe in what you are actually shouting about. You don't believe in the same vision you want people to follow you for. But if you believe in it, you shout it to the rooftop that I believe this thing can work, this thing can actually make sense. Work with me, do this with me. People are not just seeing the best, they are seeing the hands that is raised.
Mhm.
Investors, they look at the people that is present. They look at those that are available. They look at those that have that boldness to show up, even when their papers is not complete. Most times, it's not. You see, when you even see applications online for certain things, you may not have all the full requirements. The moment you see it and you know this thing is something you can do, go ahead. I've applied for so many things that they will tell us, oh, this is the age restriction. I will send, I will apply, then look for the email, send an email to the organizer, letting them understand, oh, I see that I'm capable of doing this thing, but there is age restriction that has actually placed a limitation on me. How can you assist me in getting through? So we consider the fact that you really know what you wanted. So being visible at the right place too, it matters at the right place. If you don't have a clear vision of where you are going, you'll be found everywhere. And if you are found everywhere, you will soon fizzle out of relevance. That's the truth. Because if people keep seeing you everywhere, everywhere, yeah, it's a good thing. It's okay, except if your business demands that. But if you're not found at the right places, the right people might not come for you. All right. And let me make this one the last one, which is branding. Most times we see branding as packaging, but no, branding is perception. It's perception. If I put out an application for people to apply for anything, maybe a fellowship or for them to come for a program or anything at all, from their profile picture, I can tell who is not going to come. So even if you know so much, but your profile picture is wrong, your profile picture is one haggard picture. Your profile picture is the one you snap when you are inside the bus. Things like this, it can disqualify you. Go to the studio, take a clean and sharp photo, then upload. Is not being proud. Please, it's not being proud. Know when to be humble. Talking about your products and services is not humility, is not pride. Shout it. Brand yourself. Let the perception people have concerning you, let it be something that will be really, really worth it, so that you don't attract slaves, but attract kings. Again, my name is
Exactly.
Oluwatoba Akolade. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Hello, madam. I'm not in the general group. Okay, Mr. Julius. After this, you just get to me, and I'll add you in the forum. Okay. Attendance link. Yes, the attendance links will be shared soon. Okay. Very beautiful session. I believe we all have learned a lot. I personally, I have learned so much, and through this, I would have just loved us to just extend it. But then it was a 2 hour session. We had to respect that. And of course, we know that we all have other things to do. It's night time for most of us, and we'll just want to retire to bed. So thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being there. And special thanks to all the speakers. Special thanks to Madam Blessing. Special thanks to Madam Macaulay. Special thanks to Mr. Yusuf and special thanks to Mr. Oluwatoba. Thank you so much for deciding to share your knowledge with us. It's been inspiring. And just to let each and every one of us know, this is just a tip of an iceberg of what is coming on with respect to the African Digital Conference. Trust me, we have got a whole lot in stock. This is the virtual meeting, the virtual session. As time goes on, we'll start having the on site sessions. And so, if you want to learn more and more about this, if you want to be able to meet in person with most of the speakers, and I bet you as you have come, just stay because if you're going to miss a whole lot. Thank you, each and every one. It has been a beautiful experience. The attendance list will be shared soon. So please, before you leave, ensure that you fill the attendance list. It's going to be there for some time, and after that, you won't have any access to it any longer. And for your humble host and moderator, I apologize. I didn't begin with my name, so people would have been wondering who is she. Well, I am Bime Lira Nang Senyoy. I am from Cameroon, Cameroonian by birth and nationality, and also a digital marketing expert. Yes, that's what you should know about me. And it has been my humbled and honored pleasure to have hosted this session. Until next time, for now, we'll say bye bye and please put into practice all that you've learned today. If you still have questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. Bye bye and God bless us all.
Thank you.